course, you were there. I don't know, even though you put 22,000 in here, if it's possible to be as loud as Chicago.
Well, it's not, Bob, because these new arenas have better acoustics, and the sound is lost in here a little bit. When you get in Chicago Stadium, in timeouts, you can't even talk. Your players can't hear you. Last year, I found myself writing notes to the guys trying to communicate with them. So it is very noisy, very loud. The crowd will not win this game, though. I will tell you that. It will be emotional early. Both teams will come out, and then it will settle into a pace, and the team that plays the best basketball will win. The fans will enjoy it, and so will our TV people, but the crowd will not win the game.
You talk about pressure. The guy replacing that net down on the Chicago end as Michael Jordan stalks around the bench. He's under a lot of pressure. I want to ask you about the centers. Neither center, Cartwright nor Lambier, has played well offensively. What about their contributions and what we can look for early to see something develop at the center position?
Well, I think, you know, you also must consider James Edwards in there. James Edwards, really their low post player. With Lambier, what has happened is Scottie Pippen has used his quickness and size very well. He's been able to show out on the screens and help and get back and take away Lambier's outside jump shot. With Lambier being played by Pippen, the high screen rolls are involving James Edwards now. So when Edwards rolls out, he must catch the ball and look to make the extra pass. If he does that, Pistons will have success with that play.
Edwards has been out of sync from the floor and the free throw line. Edwards only 6 of 19 from the free throw line. And, of course, the free throws will play a role in this game. The Chicago Bulls with the opening tip. John Paxson being played by Isaiah Thomas.
I think it's important for Chicago to get off to a good start. They have momentum now. They want to make sure they keep that going here in the first period. Detroit, on the other hand, wants to make a stand.
7 seconds on the shot clock for Chicago. Horace Grant backing in on Lambier with a turnaround jumper, and Chicago open, scoring 2-0 from Horace Grant.
And you can see immediately Chicago full court pressure, and they're going to come up and they're going to force the Pistons guard to use some time, look for traps, look to see if they can take away the set Detroit offense.
Now Detroit gets in that set offense with 15 on the shot clock.
I think it's very important here to use Lambier as a passer. I think that they're doing a good thing here. He's a good passer from out the top, and he'll also be able to shoot the basketball from right there.
Edwards kicks it out, and Lambier misses. Rebound Cartwright. Cartwright, you may have noticed, also pushing Edwards way out of the paint. Into Grant, open over Lambier. The rebound is pulled down by Isaiah Thomas.
Guard rebounding, very important for Detroit. Their guards really get back.
The bounce pass from Thomas to Edwards. It's tied at 2.
And a cross match that time, Bob. Edwards ran out. They did not get back with him.
Pippen back quickly with the ball, shoots up a rock. Pippen into the paint to Grant. New shot clock for Chicago. They'll set it up again.
Detroit must take away Scottie Pippen's driving lanes. When he's allowed to drive to the basket, he has big ball games.
Cartwright, who spent an hour before this game practicing turnaround jumpers, misses his first opportunity of this ball game. Isaiah Thomas on the drive. He draws the double team, and now Paxson and Pippen have him in the corner.
Here's where they got to make the extra pass. Rodman had a double team there, did not see it. He made the shot, but he had a wide open man. That's where they must make the extra pass that Chicago's going to trap.
Rodman will get most of his points from 10 feet in and most off offensive rebounds. Pistons 4-2 over the Bulls.
We get our first chance at Michael Jordan isolating, and you see him going against Dumars and hitting the first shot. Now, Michael in Chicago came out early, and he got everybody else involved, and he got it cranked up. In the last 2 ball games, he's had big fourth quarters. Detroit wants to prevent that tonight.
Chuck Davis says we can give Michael 40, but not a point more. Isaiah Thomas with the triple team to Lambier down in the low post. Not his strength. There's the follow-up by Edwards.
Lambier not comfortable with his back to the basket, Bob. You said it best. He loves to face it up, not a post-up player.
Looks like looking for Cartwright. Now to Grant, switching it back out to Jordan out high.
It looks like they're really making a conscious effort to get the ball inside to Cartwright.
Rodman got him. There were 3 players converging. The first personal on Dennis Rodman.
What this does is when you make a conscious effort to go inside early in the game, you try to soften up the belly of a defense. Bob, it's you know, you compare it to a heavyweight fight where guys go at the midsection and they pound away. If you don't have any inside attack, eventually they'll cover out on you and you'll get nothing.
Cartwright to the free throw line. 4 out of 6, now 5 out of 7 in this series.
I think a good sign for Detroit early. James Edwards with 2 quick baskets. We see Phil Jackson as Bill Cartwright attempts his second free throw.
Cartwright he had only 11 points, but with some key baskets in that game on Monday. Missing on this free throw, and the free throws will be important in this ball game because you can bet it'll be physical.
Free throws
Detroit.
And rebounding. Free throws and rebounding.
Thomas on the drive, hands it off to Lambier. There's the penetration by Isaiah Thomas, and Detroit scoring inside. Lambier only 1 of 13 in the last 2 games until that basket.
And unselfishly, Isaiah gets inside and drops it off. That's 2 big people, 2 big scores from layups. Again, inside to Cartwright against Edwards.
A quick whistle from Jack Madden on the push. It'll be called against James Edwards.
Now, Isaiah's done this twice now with the penetration. Here he is breaking down John Paxson. He's in the teeth of the defense. Pippen must help. That leaves Lambier wide open. That's a nice way to get out of a shooting slump when you get those kind of shots.
8-5 Pistons by 3. Pippen being played by Dennis Rodman.
Rodman's got to get off of him, Bob, and make him shoot the outside shot.
Into Jordan, the double clutch. Doesn't fall. Cartwright, big board. Bill Cartwright with the offensive rebound and stick back. Pistons by 1, 8:40 to go, first quarter.
Bulls were very aggressive on the offensive board in Game 3, especially Pippen and Grant.
There's the double.
Now there's the pass.
Thomas.
There's the extra pass. That's the first time the Pistons have done that. Lambier rolls out and he makes the extra pass. That has to put a smile on Chuck Daly's face.
4 of the 5 Piston starters have scored. Balance early. Pistons by 3. Now here's Isaiah Dumars trying to defense Michael, the double team. The pass into the middle to Pippen. Grant with a big offensive board, and he draws the foul.
The Chicago Bulls front line, the young guys are starting to grow up. You're seeing now the isolation here on Dumars. Michael gets a little rub screen, and Dumars sticks it after the pass. But again, Chicago very active on the offensive board. Horace Grant, Pippen, Bill Cartwright. If they continue to go after the boards like that and get second shots, they have a great opportunity to win this game.
Chicago has not committed a foul yet. Rodman, Edwards, Lambier each with 1 foul early for Detroit. As you look at Chuck Daly and Brendan Sir.
Bob, what you're also seeing, though, is on the offensive rebounds, Detroit is fouling. They're using their fouls, and they're going to force them to shoot free throws. Again, free throws become very, very important. No layups.
Horace Grant successful here coming into the game. Grant shooting 73% from the line. He has 3 points early. It is a 2-point Pistons game until the turnover. Pistons had 22 turnovers in Game 4.
Rodman just made a careless play that time. He decided to try to get the ball up, and there was no one there except John Paxson.
Going to Cartwright often and early down low. Now they've got Grant posted against Lambier. Paxson, that's a 2-pointer. He stepped on the line. Another offensive rebound, but it won't fall for Grant. Back to Paxson to Michael.
Well, you see Horace Grant, 3 offensive rebounds already here in the first quarter. Chicago setting a tone early. Will they be able to maintain this pace?
Chicago has 5 offensive rebounds, and this time Isaiah Thomas with the personal. That's 14 fouls on Detroit already. The keys for the Bulls in this game.
Well, I think they need to start quickly. I think they've done a good job. They need to make the perimeter shots. They must defensive rebound, and they must believe they can win here. They have not been able to get it done. I think they get a break here. I thought Cartwright was shooting the basketball. They ruled that he had it on the floor.
No team fouls on Chicago. Ball off the foot of Isaiah Thomas. New shot clock. The Detroit Pistons haven't really been challenged seriously for a while. Whether they can reach down deep enough is a question will be answered here tonight.
Well, they're going to have to play 48 minutes tonight. They played in spurts, as I said, on camera, but they must play for 48 minutes.
Jordan open for the jumper. Won't fall. Isaiah gets it out to Dumars. Had Paxson, but Michael Jordan, the ubiquitous Michael Jordan, was back. Dumars trying to drive, draws the foul on John Paxson. Paxson can get into foul trouble.
John has a tendency, all right, to play good defense, but at the last moment, John will reach in. He gets a lot of fouls, slapping to try to strip the guy on the way up. John plays very good position defense, and if he does have a weakness defensively, it's the reach in at the last moment. That will get him in trouble.
Dumars was shooting when he was fouled. He's a 91% shooter in the series. 3-point Pistons lead, 7:07 to go, first quarter.
I think you really must watch this ball game, too. Scottie Pippen is a real key for Chicago. When he's active, when he's scoring, when he's taking the ball to the basket, he makes the Bulls a real potent 1-2 punch with he and Michael Jordan. He also creates shots for other people. You've got to get off him on the perimeter and make him make shots. Let's see if Rodman maybe doesn't challenge him as much outside.
Pippen has not scored in this game yet, handling the ball now against Rodman. Now Pippen with Edwards. On the drive and the short jumper. Doesn't fall. Rebound Grant. That's 4 offensive boards for Grant alone.
Here's where Pippen's dangerous. Penetrating and pitching right there to Paxson for the open jump shot.
Chicago's only 4 of 12 shooting the ball.
And they're within 2 points.
Boards.
They're getting more shot opportunities, Bob, when you get to the boards. And I'm sure right now Chuck Daly not happy with his team's defensive rebounding.
Oh, he's talking heavy and hard at the bench right now. Dumars seems to have the hot hand. 6 points for Dumars early.
Well, they're making Michael Jordan play defense, too. They're going at him, running through screens, making him work, not allowing him to stand in isolation a lot like he did in Chicago.
Dumars has the last 6 Detroit points. Cartwright easily past Edwards. And Cartwright early on scoring. He has 5.
Chicago going inside. They've made a commitment to get the ball to Cartwright, and he's doing a good job right now.
Foul away from the ball. Cartwright and Edwards battling each other down low. We'll be back to the Palace in Auburn Hills in just a moment. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Bulls on the offensive rebounds. They pitch to Pippen. Now you're going to see Rodman try to cover out, Bob. And he starts running, and he leaves his feet. The minute he leaves his feet here, this is where Pippen is at his best. Now he's going to penetrate. Here comes Isaiah to cover for him. That leaves Paxson, and that's the kind of shots you must get John Paxson. Easy 2. Great play by Pippen. Now here's Dumars and Jordan fighting through screens. Michael's working. Here comes Dumars fighting through an Edwards screen, going up strong for the jump shot. Dumars big here early, making Michael play defense. Keys to winning, they must play unselfishly. They've got to pound the offensive boards, regain their defensive intensity, and control Michael Jordan in the fourth quarter.
Before the timeout, the foul was on Cartwright. Second Chicago team foul. Detroit in the penalty. 5:45 to go. First quarter. Isaiah Thomas missing. Offensive rebound. Dennis Rodman.
Rodman was a bear on the boards in Chicago. 20 the other day with 10 on the offensive boards.
The lob into Edwards, something Detroit wanted to try to do. I guess Bill Cartwright read today's papers, too.
Well, what happened there on the front, if Isaiah would have made the pass to the top, they could have thrown over. His passing lane was too long. Cartwright was able to pick it off.
Pistons by 2. Offensive foul, wave off that basket. The Pistons continue to lead by 2, and that personal on Pippen. Pippen, Cartwright, Paxson each with 1 personal. Now, Chicago Bulls.
Bob, what happens if Scottie Pippen has tendency to get in foul trouble? When he does, Chicago is not the same team. He must not now pick up a foul, reaching, gambling, play good, solid defense. Sometimes he gets cheap fouls.
Edwards sets the pick and rolls down low for Isaiah Thomas. 14 on the shot clock. He'll just do it again and roll again. Now he gets it.
See how far Edwards is off the block, though?
The move into the lane. There's James Edwards. He did not have a smooth move like that in the entire situation in Game 4.
Ran inside against Lambert. Looks like they're really going at Lambert. Lambert has 2 fouls. That's a tough shot by Horace Grant. Bill Lambert is a good low-post defensive player. Grant using his quickness on him right now.
Grant with 5 points in this ballgame. 4:40 to go, first quarter. 2-point Pistons lead. Dumars 6 points. Edwards with 6 for Detroit. Thomas kicks it out to Edwards, who can't corral it. A Detroit turnover.
Here's James Edwards, pushed off the block by Cartwright, but he's allowed to come through to the middle. Let him get inside there. He's going to be awfully tough to handle.
The 7-footer. Man who replaced Mahorn in the lineup. 10 seconds on the clock for Chicago.
Lambert's going to be careful here. He's going to pick up his second. He and Horace Grant do a lot of arm wrestling down there.
Now 4 seconds. Here's Pippen on the drive. Kicks it out to Jordan with 2. Not at the buzzer this time. Pistons by 2. Isaiah fell down, but there's Dumars on the spot with 8 points in the ballgame.
You know what, in the book, it's going to look like an assist for Isaiah Thomas. Wasn't pretty, but got the job done.
You know, in the Detroit book, it will be an assist.
No place in the scorebook to draw pictures.
3:45 to go, first quarter. Jordan behind Cartwright. Long rebound to Edwards. Now Pistons can build their biggest lead.
If they can keep Michael Jordan out there and not on the foul line, they'll be very happy. Michael has not gotten into the teeth of the defense yet.
He's only 1 of 5 early in this game. Dumars on the drive. Tough shot. Pippen corrals the rebound. Here's Paxson.
Watch Pippen.
Follows down the lane. Offensive foul on Pippen. And that's 2 personals on Scottie. You mentioned it a moment ago. If he picked up a cheap second foul with 3:21 to go in this quarter. He just did.
What happens, you know, Scottie now has got 2 fouls and might lose some of his aggressiveness. This is where Scottie Pippen's got to be able to pull up. That's a charge. Good play right there, and Scottie Pippen has a tendency to do that. Now, what you've done is you got to move Horace Grant to your small forward. You bring in Stacey King. What does that do? You lose a ball handler and a creator on the floor. Now Moore has to go to Michael Jordan. He's got to create shots for the other players.
And already Michael only 1 out of 5. You saw Sally check in for Detroit, and Stacey King now in for Pippen for the Chicago Bulls. Monsters pick set by Edwards against Jordan there to get the ball to Dumars, who's backing into the paint. It didn't fall, but would have counted, so the foul goes against Michael Jordan, who picks up his first.
Michael Jordan is a very strong player, but so is Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars banging him back on the dribble, banging him back on the dribble. He gets him into the middle of the lane, and Joe Dumars is very tough. He's not as tall as Michael Jordan, but you look at his body, very strong legs, can power you inside.
Dumars with 9 points now, playing very smoothly in this ballgame.
Here you see now 3 dribbles, 4 dribbles, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 9 dribbles before anybody came back to give any help. I don't care how good defensively you are. These players in this league are too good to give them that many dribbles.
Dumars misses a free throw, but he scored 9 of Detroit's last 11 points. Joe Dumars. 5-point Pistons lead, 3 minutes to go, quarter number 1.
This is designed to get Cartwright the ball in the low post.
He's got it. He's hook shooting it and missing. Rebound, Dennis Rodman. On the run, Isaiah Thomas. Sally inside to Edwards. Sally to Edwards. It's a 7-point Pistons lead, and Edwards hasn't missed. He's 4 for 4. Timeout, Chicago. 2:32 to go in the first quarter. Detroit has made an early statement.
Well, some boots are made for walking, some are made for swelling. Dennis Rodman's left ankle has started to bother him in the game. For the past 2 days and nights, he's had it encased in a special boot that brings out ice-cold water in a pressurized situation, sort of like an ice-cold whirlpool. His ankle is bothering him right now, so look to see if he's able to continue in this first half. Now let's go back to Bob and Doug.
Adrenaline got him this far, but now the pain oozing in. Pistons by 7, 2:32 to go in the first quarter.
Well, let me show you Detroit. This is Detroit at their best. Nice rebound, pitch out to Isaiah Thomas. He's going to penetrate, pull the defense. He finds Sally. Sally, the extra pass to Edwards. They have 6 assists in the first quarter with 2:32 to go. Isaiah has 4. On this pace, they'll have 27, 28 assists. If they do that, they'll win the basketball game.
Dumars with 9 points, Edwards with 8 points, and Isaiah delivering the basketball.
Now, Bob, now what's going to happen, all right? Now both teams are going to have to start going to their benches a little bit, all right? You've got Sally in the ball game right now. The Bulls basically have gone just with Stacey King. As Neely and Armstrong and those guys start to come in, let's see how that starts to affect the game.
Michael Jordan missing again. Michael is 1 of 6 from the floor. Isaiah running against Jordan. 15 on the shot clock for Dumars against Paxson.
Dumars wants to force Michael Jordan to come help. If he does, Isaiah should get the ball.
And the foul on Paxson, that's 2.
Remember what I said a while ago about John Paxson? He has a tendency to get what kind of foul?
The cheap foul, the reach-in foul late after playing good defense.
All right, so he had Dumars stopped, and at the last moment, the little reach-in, he got in the foul. Now, in defensive John, he has to use his hands a lot because he's not going to block a shot up big, so he has to bother a guy down low. So you have to be a pesky defender, and that's what John is.
The whistle comes so late on his defensive set, but it's come two times here in the first quarter.
Now,
and he has to go to the bench, and Craig Hodges is in.
All right, now will Chuck Daly counter with Benny Johnson? He likes Benny Johnson to play against Craig Hodges. Let's see how long he waits.
Isaiah Thomas being played through Craig Hodges at the moment. Now 10 on the shot clock. Isaiah from 16 uncontested. He'll hit that shot. Isaiah's first basket of the game.
Let me tell you something. When Hodges comes in the game, they're worried about his shooting. They're going to go at him defensively, and they're going to try to run him out of the ball game. They're going to make him play one of those guards.
Now they've got Jordan with the ball out high. He'll distribute to Craig Hodges first. 7 straight Pistons points.
Now watch Hodges for 3 if they leave him. Right there he is.
Everybody converged on Jordan, and Craig Hodges, the three-point champion in the NBA, hits it. His first triple, it's 23-17. That ended a 7-point Piston run. Joe Dumars, once again, by Michael Jordan was rubbed off on the pick.
Well, you better credit the Detroit big people. They are setting outstanding screens right now. Edwards, Sally, and Rodman.
Bone crushers. Cartwright's turnaround jumper from the left baseline goes down, and Bill has 7.
You know, Chicago has to feel pretty good right now. Down only 6. Michael Jordan has not tracked yet.
And Detroit playing very well. Here's Edwards again. This time, rebound Grant. That's against Dennis Rodman. His second a push on the rebound.
Well, Vinnie Johnson's going to check in the game. As you look at the bench points right now, 124 to 64. You see when the Pistons won, plus 15, plus 15. Game 3, plus 25. Aguirre had a big ball game. But here's Vinnie Johnson now into the ball game. He and Aguirre. All right, you gain offense when you bring in Aguirre. You lose some defense when you take out Rodman.
Vinnie Johnson, 11 points per game in this series, 3.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. They're not thinking about the rebounds and assists nearly as much as the points from Vinnie Johnson, although he's a good rebounder for a guard.
Horace Grant has struggled at the free throw line in the playoffs, shooting only 55%. He's getting to the free throw line 3-4 times a ball game and just not being able to convert.
Grant tonight is 2 for 4 from the line.
Now let's see if they use Aguirre to help bring the ball up the floor, or they're going to bring Vinnie Johnson up against Hodges.
Pistons by 5. And he kicks it out to Aguirre from the corner, missing early. Sally keeps it alive, loose ball foul. And it's going to be on John Sally, who doesn't like the call at all, and he tells Jack Madden that. Ed Neely also into the ball game for Chicago.
Now you watch Ed Neely here. Ed Neely, I think, is the guy that got fouled, and he's trying to get Michael Jordan to shoot the free throws. Or they're going to have Stacey King. But Ed Neely was actually the guy that got fouled there. Ed Neely, being the player he is, told Michael, he said, you go up and shoot him. I read his lips there, but Michael couldn't get there.
Neely also a 56% free throw shooter. But Stacey King will go to the line. He's shooting 80% in the series. Well, that's using your head. King in for Pippen, who got early foul trouble. Gets them both. It's all of a sudden a 3-point game. Detroit has led by as many as 9.
If Vinny reads the double team, if Jordan comes at him, right now Michael just sort of playing the here he comes. You got to find it, and they got to move the basketball and find the open guy.
Get it to Aguirre. Don't really get much accomplished with it, Bill, as Joe Dumars has to shoot over 3 players. But there's a big offensive board. It's loose to Sally, who kicks it to Vinnie Johnson. And hold it, they're saying it went over the backboard. And they're going to give the ball to Chicago.
They're going to rule that that pass was thrown over the board. There's an invisible line that goes over the glass to infinity. Right here it is.
We didn't get to see it there. The call was that it went over the line.
Well, I don't know what
tied at 25.
Michael threw one in there. I don't know if he was trying to pass or what. I didn't even see that.
It's the Michael Jordan touch. He has 5 at the buzzer, ending the first quarter. The Bulls have battled right back in here after Detroit scored 7 straight points. The Bulls went on a run with an 8-0 move, and it's tied at 25. Magic of Michael Jordan. Just before the half, Michael misread the shot clock, the game clock. It said 10.9 seconds. He thought it said 1.9. Threw up about a 30-foot prayer of a three-pointer while we were in a replay. He hits the basket, ties it at 25, and that is the definitive Michael Jordan.
Well, Michael laughed at it, too. I mean, you could see the look on his face. Now, Pippen in the ball game. They're going to go Pippen as a big guard now against Vinnie Johnson defensively. Put Hodges on Dumars. That means Dumars will go at Hodges. They'll run him off screens and try to free him up.
Chicago on an 8-0 run to tie this game after Detroit went on a 7-zip run. Here's Dumars. To Lambeer.
Now the benches are into play. Now you start seeing with the game. Normally this is where Detroit has taken control, although they didn't do it in game 4. Who will be the offensive man now for Chicago?
It's Lambeer, Aguirre, Sally, Vinnie Johnson, and Dumars for Detroit. Here's Hodges over Vinnie Johnson. Lambeer with the rebound.
Look for Dumars to try to go at Hodges. Now that's the matchup they want to try to go at, with Vinnie Johnson being played by Pippen.
Chicago has Grant, Pippen, Stacey King, Neely, and Hodges on the floor. Aguirre, Mark's first basket of the game.
Mark Aguirre gets away with a carry. He actually palms that ball on the dribble. His hands are so big, but you really can't see it.
Pistons back by 4 now. Bulls have tied it at 25 on the Jordan three-pointer right before the buzzer.
Horace Grant wants a little payback.
Doesn't get it. Aguirre rebound. Here comes Dumars on the run. It's 3-on-2.
If Detroit scores here, you might see a 20-second timeout. The Bulls do not want to let them get on any kind of spurts.
There's the double team. Pass 1, pass 2. Here's Sally from 15. Rebound Neely.
They'll give him that shot. They'll want John Sally to take that shot.
Now Pippen handling the ball and running things for Chicago. Hodges really the off guard. Here's Stacey King. Into the paint. You've got the offensive foul on Stacey King.
Stacey's not comfortable out there on the floor, Bob. He's a post-to-post, block-to-block player. And when he catches it on the floor, he's not comfortable yet. Putting it down, pulling up, and taking a shot. He tries to take it all the way. He's a lefty, and normally it goes left, and if he doesn't go all the way, he likes to spin back quickly.
Third offensive foul against Chicago in this game. Lambeer mishandling the pass. Intelligently getting it to Aguirre. 7 on the shot clock. Aguirre against Grant, now down to 4.
Gonna get it up.
Lambeer from 17. Lambeer 3 of 5 from the floor tonight, having a much better game. He was only 1 of 13 in the last 2 ball games.
Well, our top flight statistician, Marty Aronoff, told us he was going to be a real key guy tonight. Lambeer and Edwards. He said how the 2 centers play.
Well, Lambeer has 6, Edwards has 8 compared to 7 for Cartwright.
Chicago's got to be very careful right now. 10-point lead gets big in this building. They don't want to let this Detroit team slip away. Michael Jordan sitting on the bench. How long will Phil Jackson rest him, as he looks like he's going to come back now with B.J. Armstrong?
It's been a game of runs. Detroit 7-0, then Chicago 8-0, now Detroit 6-0. B.J. Armstrong checking in for the Chicago Bulls. He'll come in for Craig Hodges.
I think he's going to go in for Horace and put Scotty back down in the forward position.
They're keeping Hodges, by the way, picked up the personal foul, his first, and Horace sitting down.
Now, with this team on the floor that Chicago has, Pippen is going to create some offenses from the other guys. Hodges is a spot-up shooter, Stacey King. These other guys are all players that feed off the activity of the other players on the floor.
Benny Johnson off the Aguirre screen, kicks it back out to Aguirre. When he popped off the screen, he sent for Benny Johnson. And Aguirre has 4 points.
There's a 20-second timeout. Good call by Phil Jackson. We're going to have to think about getting Michael Jordan back in the ball game.
That Detroit bench has been effective. They're on an 8-0 run, and Chicago has not scored in the quarter. It's 33-25.
All right, let's watch Benny Johnson. He's going to curl. He's going to get in the lane. What's that make? That makes Ed Neely help. There he helps. And the drop-off, Aguirre fades out for the little baseline jump shot. Nice play there by the Pistons.
Earlier playoff game, we saw Mark Aguirre come up with 17 points in the second quarter. He can really lay a load on you in a hurry if he gets hot.
Well, that's the kind of flexibility now Chuck Daly has. In Game 4, Dennis Rodman was a monster. 20 points, 20 rebounds. So Aguirre didn't play that much. So Aguirre has settled in to know that if Rodman's doing it, that he's going to be out there, and if not, then he's going to play. So whoever produces will play, and we look at the assists, a very key statistic.
33-25, Detroit, 9:17 to go, first half. Pippen handling the ball. Michael Jordan still on the bench.
We're going to isolate Pippen against Aguirre. He can take him off the dribble.
Aguirre hard into him with the foul, stopping the shot.
See, Bob, the one thing you have to do is you have to really know your personnel. Scottie Pippen wants to drive it. All right, when he pumps fakes in the air, you got to stay down on him. Now, that's a good fake. You got to give him credit. It's a nice fake. You got to stay on your feet, and you say, Scotty, you've got to make that jump shot against me. I'm not going to let you get to the free throw line. I'm not going to give you any dunks.
Pippen's 0 for 3 from the floor. That was his first point of the ballgame. Scottie Pippen in the series averaging 19 points.
Look for this team that Chicago has on the floor now to extend some full court pressure and try to trap a little bit. They've got to be able to do something here defensively to create offense.
B.J. Armstrong, who's been playing better and better as the playoffs have gone along, expected from the rookie.
Now, he idolizes Isaiah. You got to remember that. He's got to forget that tonight.
He forgets it thanks to Bill Lambeer, who sets the screen, then the pop, the missed shot, the lob out here to Pippen.
That's a breakaway. A breakaway.
They'll get the basket, and they'll get the foul, and they'll get the ball on the side. That means that's an opportunity for 5 points.
Now, here's what happened. Lambeer took the shot. Scottie Pippen jumps at him and keeps going. No one rotated back to cover him. Pippen, there he goes. He releases. Lambeer cannot get back there. This could be a 5-point play. Layup, A breakaway is any hands in the back. You see Lambier. Lambier should have just let it go. That's his second foul. Could be a 5-point play. This is the lapses that Detroit has had in this series that has really cost them.
So the breakaway gives the ball to Chicago on the sideline. Pippen gets the first three. Let's see if he converts all 5 of them. Neely now back to Pippen. He doesn't convert the 5-point play, but that was the opportunity. Detroit dodges a bullet. 33-30 Pistons up by 3. The double team on Isaiah. Stepped on the line. It'll be a turnover and back to the Bulls.
When Isaiah sees the trap, he's got to give the ball up. That's where he's got to make the extra pass. And right now he's trying to beat him on the dribble. 2 people. You can't do that, Bob.
B.J. Armstrong, the rookie from Iowa State. Foul away from the ball as Pippen tried to cut through the screen. It's on Mark Aguirre. He just picked up his second.
You can see Chicago with this team on the floor. They run their basic pattern offense. When Michael is in the game, they don't do that as often. They look to let him penetrate because the rules of the game are different when he plays.
Ed Neely called for the personal foul. He and Lambier have been mixing it up away from the ball.
You know, Michael Jordan's getting a long rest here, almost 4 minutes right now. He's been on the bench.
4 of Chicago's 5 turnovers in this ballgame, by the way, have been offensive fouls. 3 team fouls on the Pistons this quarter, 1 against Chicago. Lambier will be open for that shot. Bill Lambier is shooting well tonight. He has 8 points. Pippen answers.
Scottie Pippen, a good angle shooter. 45-degree angle, that's his best shot. Either that or we can kiss it off the glass.
Pippen, no points in the first quarter, has 7 here in the second.
Pippen had an illegal defense, got away with it.
Aguirre with his move inside past Neely. And Aguirre off the bench, shooting well, has 6 points.
Pippen wants to go at Aguirre. They want to isolate. They'd like to get B.J. out of there, isolate, let him take him off the drive.
Here's B.J. against Isaiah. Gets it down low to King over Lambier. Rebound Sally. (37-32) Detroit. Benny Johnson from 10 feet. Rebound little B.J. Armstrong on the run as Neely and Pippen out front. He'll pull up from 18. Aguirre with a rebound.
Little quick shot that time by B.J. I think he got a little bit excited. He got a nice rebound. Wanted to come down and make something happen.
Jordan and Grant will be back in the ballgame momentarily. 10 seconds on the Detroit shot clock, leading by 5. There's the double team for Aguirre. 2 passes, 3, 4. Lambier shoots the air ball. Caught a little bit of iron on the back. Trying to drive on Sally.
Boy, Scotty lucky there. He almost got an offensive foul.
Now B.J. Armstrong off the glass. Rebound Lambier. 4 boards for Bill Lambier. Pippen going for the steal and getting it.
That's just a careless play. Then he's got to be aware. It's going to cost his team maybe 3 points, although they did dodge the bullet. You got to always be aware of someone running in behind you.
Now Benny Johnson open at the other end. He takes it inside, gets it to Lambier, and he draws the foul. And personal on Hodges is second. Hey, leaders brought to you by Honda. You see the home records of the conference finalists. In the playoffs, home teams are a total of 50-13. Chicago 43-5. Detroit 42-6. And now let's go to Craig Sager and find out about Dennis Rodman and his soaring.
Well, thank you, Bob. Dennis has been called a man of perpetual motion. Tonight he literally is. While he's on the bench with 2 fouls, he's jumping on a trampoline that's over on the side of the bench. The problem is when he sits down, his left ankle, the injured ankle, begins to stiffen. They do not know if they will put that boot on at halftime. They may not have time, but he definitely is being bothered by that ankle. Back to you, Bob.
And that could be meaningful. Aguirre getting a lot of playing time early. Defense, Detroit's key, could be significant later.
Well, really in the fourth quarter, you know, where Detroit really makes their defensive stand. Rodman is such a key. He's also very key in that in critical situations, they like to put him on Michael Jordan. Obviously, tonight being gimpy, he's not going to be able to do that. Now, Michael Jordan sat out almost 6 minutes. If Lambier makes these 2 free throws, the Bulls lost 7 points while he was sitting down. That's very significant.
Lambier at the line. Pistons leading by 5. 6:05 remaining in the second quarter, along with Craig Sager and Magic Johnson, who will be joining us on our telecast tonight. This is Bob Neal and Doug Collins, cast of thousands for Game 5, Eastern Conference Finals. And Lambier does not knock down the first one. See Bill Jackson over coaching and coaching right now, talking to Stacey King on the sideline. Lambier, only the 7th free throw for Bill Lambier in this entire series.
Well, that tells you he's playing a lot out on the perimeter. You see Lambier now. So the Bulls lost 6 points with Michael Jordan out of the basketball game. Let's see how fresh he comes in now.
Detroit throws up a midcourt trap.
They said they were going to do this a little bit. I talked to Brendan Sir before the game a little bit. They want to do this just to sort of disrupt Chicago a little bit.
Pistons by 6. Shot clock down to 6 seconds. Michael Jordan with the ball. Defense by Benny Johnson. Down to 3.
I don't know if Michael knows it or not.
1. At the buzzer, it would have counted, but Jordan misses it. He continues in his early game shooting slump. Benny Johnson throws it out of bounds, intended for Mark Aguirre.
You know, Detroit is making a lot of careless mistakes. Mark Aguirre wide open, had an easy shot there. And bad pass, and it cost them 2 points. They don't get back on defense. Pippen kisses one off the glass. So instead of an 8-point lead, it's 4. Again, Detroit allowing Chicago to hang around. Very dangerous when you've got 23 out there.
Pippen 3 out of 4 this period. Rest of the Bulls 0 for 7. Pippen's been the offensive threat. Shot. Lambier has 11 points with 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Bob, we talked before the game. I said that was one play they really run well. They had not run it very well. Tonight they're going to it. Lambier is doing a great job.
Jordan on the drive against Benny Johnson. Hugh Evans with the call. Benny Johnson with the opinion.
This is the old go play. G-O, go. Screen roll, slide out, 2 points. Very difficult to defend against because Pippen must show up big, and he can't get back against Lambier to defend. Rest of the quarter now, Chicago will be shooting free throws. If Michael Jordan can get the ball inside.
Big defensive move by Benny Johnson, knocking it out of bounds on the intended pass for Jordan. 15 on the shot clock for the Bulls. Here's Benny's dive, the ball going out of bounds, and you see Cartwright and Lambier battling for territory there in the edge of the paint.
They want to go again. Pippen on Aguirre.
Now here's Paxson from Michael Jordan. Not this time. Sally with the rebound. Sally's come up big here, rebounded.
Since the first quarter, the Bulls are not getting any second shots. Detroit's doing a much better job on the backboard.
Aguirre against Horace Grant. Quick move inside, double team. Back to Thomas.
They need to make the extra pass now when they get the double team.
Back to Aguirre. Splits the defenders. Misses the layup. Offensive foul, Mark Aguirre. And that'll be 3 fouls on Aguirre. Remember, Rodman with a sore ankle and Aguirre with 3 fouls.
Remember also, too, now, as we see Aguirre get the foul here, he's going to lean in. Dumars has been on the bench for a while after a strong first quarter. The lean in right there, Rodman back in the ball game. And the Aguirre reaction, not happy, but it was a good call.
Only Scottie Pippen has scored this period. 8 minutes in, the rest of the Bulls are 0 for 8. Still trail only by 6. Looking for Grant down against Sally. Here's Pippen for 3. Sally kept it alive for Lambier.
Notice they're getting nothing inside now. Everything is on the perimeter. They went inside early. I think they're going to have to start dropping the ball back inside to get something going to the basket.
Lambier sliding away from the screen he had set. Isaiah missing the long-range shot, and here's Michael. The beautiful hook pass to Horace Grant. 4-point Pistons lead, 3:28 to go first half. These Bulls playing tough on the road.
They're playing very well. They're in a great position right now. Detroit can't put them away, and Detroit's playing well. They just made some careless mistakes.
Isaiah Thomas with a nice move down the lane. Isaiah, only his second basket of the ball game. He does have 6 assists. 3 minutes to go.
They're really collapsing now. They've opened the floor up for Michael. Looks like Detroit's going to really collapse and not let him penetrate.
Cartwright as they run Pippen off of Cartwright. Back out to Jordan, who goes down.
Oh, what a
Shovels it left-handed as he fell down.
What a great pass. Oh, my God. Michael looked like he banged his knee a little bit. Tremendous pass, left-handed.
You know, when he fell down, I said, when Jordan does something unusual, like his accidental shot from 30 feet ago, a minute ago, sometimes it's spectacular. Jordan again. And Lane Beer has 13. He leads all scorers in this ballgame.
Jordan is unbelievable. I do think he has a floor burn on his left knee.
Michael in the post. That's where he's devastating.
Kicks it back to Paxson, open for the jumper. Not going down. Paxson having a little loss of confidence in that jumper, apparently, early.
Well, in this series, Hodges, Paxson, and B.J. Armstrong are shooting 33%.
Isaiah Thomas against Paxson, looking for the foul. Doesn't get it. Lane Beer is there for the rebound, but we're going to get a Chicago foul.
This is the spectacular Michael Jordan. You say he plays well in the air? Well, he also plays well on the ground. This is Earth Jordan.
Earth Jordan, 44-38, Detroit.
With less than 2 minutes to play in the first half, the Detroit Pistons lead the Chicago Bulls by 6. Hello again, I'm Craig Sager. Usually in the studio at Playoff Central, but tonight on the floor of the Palace for the Eastern Conference Finals. I have my magic lantern here. Let's rub it and see what's coming up at halftime. Why, it's number 32 from the Lakers, Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson will join me at halftime, but now let's go back to Bob Neal and Doug Collins.
Joe Dumars, you look out on the Detroit bench. The Pistons up by 6 point, 1:56 remaining in the first half of play. The Chicago Bulls starting backcourt is not doing as well as Joe Dumars. Jordan only 2 of 8 with 5 points. Paxson 1 of 4 for only 2 points.
Also key, rebounding Chicago 5, Detroit 12 in this period. Chicago no offensive rebounds after 6 in the first period.
Benny Johnson, defense by Jordan. The jumper as Cartwright got there late. And it's the Pistons 46-38.
Very critical time right now. Last 2 minutes of the first half. One of these teams would like to get out 10 or 12 points. The other would like to try to cut it to maybe 4 or 6.
Both teams with 4 team fouls as we head into the 2-minute period. Now a minute 30 to go first half. 7 on the shot clock for Chicago. Looking for Jordan. Where is Michael? Not to be found. 2 on the shot clock. Cartwright. Rebound Dennis Rodman. Strange offensive set for Chicago that trip.
Really was. Now Isaiah going to go against B.J. Armstrong. Again, watch Lambeer rolling out. If they let him set the screen, he's been hot. He'll roll out and he'll get the shot.
Good quick recovery by Pippen, and then Grant down to Dennis Rodman, who loses it. Here comes Jordan, also has Armstrong. The no look. B.J. Armstrong will lay in.
I think Pippen hurt his hand on that play also. You see him down there holding his hand. Again, there's a possession. Rodman loses the basketball instead of a 10-point lead. It's now down to 6. Those are big plays, Bob. A double-digit lead in this game is big.
Benny Johnson with the double team. The left hand of Scottie Pippen seems to be hurting, and he's holding it up there in the upper right of your screen. Shot clock at 8 seconds for the Pistons. Offensive foul, Bill Laimbeer, and that's 3 fouls on Laimbeer with 38.5 remaining in the half.
Lambeer looked like he grabbed Scottie Pippen that time as he was rolling out. Let's take a look at it here. Maybe it's Michael Jordan that he grabs. Let's watch Lambeer. There's the grab right there. It's a little touch. That was a tough call there.
6 offensive fouls have been called in this game. 4 on the Bulls, 2 on the Pistons. It's only a 6-point Pistons lead. The Bulls just hanging around. They've posted Michael down low against Benny Johnson, who picks up the foul this time, and that'll be his second.
So that's what happens. You get the penalty. Michael goes in the post, and that's 2 in the bank because he's going to go to the free throw line now. And Chicago is in a great position. There's 1 possession left in this half. They'll probably try to get Detroit to take a quick shot so they can get the ball back. But Chicago, if Michael makes these 2 free throws, down only 4 points, with Michael only scoring 7 points himself.
Michael Jordan's first points in this period, actually dug 6. That's only 6 for Michael. He had not scored in this entire quarter.
Dumars now coming in the game. 3 guards. Will Phil Jackson counter with 3 guards? It looks like he's going to come in quickly with Hodges to match up.
26.9 remaining in the first half. Pistons by 5. What's amazing is that Michael Jordan has scored 1 point in this whole quarter. He was on the bench a long time. You said 6 minutes.
He did that in game 4. He set out, or he only scored 2 points, I think. Only took 1 shot in the third quarter and had 19 in the fourth. And if you're Detroit, what you're doing, if you're Detroit, you're holding your breath knowing if the game is this close in the fourth quarter, Michael Jordan can take over and dominate it.
Michael Jordan missing the free throw, one of his rare misses. There's the double team.
Somebody's got to cut to the basket.
Edwards did, then Sally did. Now 9 on the shot clock for Detroit.
Got to make the extra pass.
That was broken up by Michael Jordan. It's 3-on-1. B.J. Armstrong back to Pippen, who's going for 3. At the buzzer, Chicago blows an opportunity to close the gap even further. The Pistons end the first half 46-41. That's a Pistons kind of score. We'll be back in just a moment.
Back to the Prudential Halftime Report. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals from Auburn Hills in Michigan. The 3 officials for tonight's game are Jack Madden, Ed Rush, and Hugh Evans. All 3 are NBA veterans. But the dean of NBA officials is Earl Strom. He's been officiating NBA basketball for 32 years. His first season, 1957-1958, he was paid $40 a game. This season, his last, he receives $1,000 a game. But he doesn't do it for money. Some say it's a thankless job. Well, Earl Strom, we'd like you to know there are many of us who would like to thank you for the job you have done. In a few moments, Inside the NBA brought to you by Pizza Hut, live from Auburn Hills in Auburn Hills, Michigan. The Palace, not far from where you are from, East Lansing, Michigan. Congratulations on an opportunity to come here and be a fan, but I know a vacation in May is not your cup of tea.
Definitely not. I'd rather be playing than sitting here, I guess, enjoying the game. But that's how it goes. A team that played better in terms of Phoenix knocked us out, and we just have to regroup and get ready for next season.
What about next season? Rumors going on that the Lakers may be interested in trading Byron Scott, A.C. Green to the Nats for a #1 pick to draft Dennis Scott. Is it time to maybe change the chemistry of that team or change the faces?
Well, I think we need change. I don't know if it has to come about through trade or what. That's up to Jerry West and Dr. Buck to decide upon. But we have to get some better players, especially big, strong players, I feel. So we just have to wait and see what happens. You know, maybe we just wasn't clicking and we maybe didn't have enough horses to beat a good Phoenix team.
What about the Chicago team tonight? Michael Jordan, just 6 points.
Well, he's playing a fantastic game, though. He's all right. Because, see, Michael can take over a game at any time. He's getting the ball to other people, keeping the game close. It's only a 5-point game, and you'll look for him to take it over now from the third and the fourth quarter. I think they have to speed up the pace, though, because you can't rely on just him winning this game. For Detroit, it's been a good pace, but they missed a lot of opportunity that could have really put this game out of reach, about double figures. But Chicago should be happy. Detroit should be upset because the game is closer than they want it to be.
Congratulations on another MVP season.
Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of people say in the offseason you'll get a chance to relax and do anything. I know you got a chance to go home, but judging for the people that surround you everywhere you go, do you get a chance to relax at all?
Well, you get a chance sometimes. You pick your spots where you can get away, take a nice vacation. Even on vacation, you get bugged a little bit, but that goes with being in the NBA and playing with the Lakers and being successful, I think. So I'm a people person, and I don't get disturbed by them bothering me. But I do get a chance to get away on certain vacations that I take.
Well, thanks for taking your spot to be with us. Magic Johnson. Now let's go back to Bob Neal and Doug Callens at courtside, gentlemen.
At the Palace in Auburn Hills, the Detroit Pistons held Chicago to only 16 points in the second quarter. Michael Jordan had only 1 point. Despite all of that, Chicago's down only 5. Detroit's got to be concerned.
Well, I'd be very concerned. First of all, you expect Michael to come out now in the second half and try to dominate. But when you look at the stats, look at the field goal percentage, and you see 37% to 60%. Chicago gets 6 more opportunities.
Field goal percentage, there's the rebounding. Detroit 25-15, and that again is a surprising.
Well, you get plus 10 there. Now, the Bulls got off to a great start. They had 6 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. They got none in the second quarter. So good defensive rebounding by Detroit to clean up a lot of those misses when you shoot 37%. Now, Michael Jordan, 2 for 8, 6 points. But as Magic said, you know, Michael has the capability to get everybody else involved. So you see Pippen 9, Grant 10, Cartwright 7. And now to come out and look to maybe take more control of this game. If I'm Detroit, the thing that worries me is that I have a chance to put this game away, Bob. I have a chance to get a lead, and I basically shoot myself in the foot. I have a turnover here, there, a missed pass, not getting back, a breakaway foul, some things that really give Chicago life to stay involved and stay a part of this ball game. So if I'm Chuck Daly, I'm a little worried. I'm saying number 23 is sitting on a stick of dynamite right now. When's it ready to explode?
Now, I asked both Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen about their injuries. Pippen hurt his left hand right before halftime. Pippen smiled and said it's fine and gave me the okay sign. Dennis Rodman said his ankle's fine too, but as you watch Dennis Rodman walk onto the floor, it doesn't look that fine. He's walking with a little bit of a gimp.
Now, Joe Dumars set out the last 10 minutes of the second quarter. Important for him to get really loose in this quarter. As we see Isaiah force up a tough shot.
Edwards kept it alive. We're going to get a loose ball foul against Chicago.
But, you know, when you sit out that long, you sit out 10 minutes of playing time into the half, he's got to make sure he gets a quick sweat up here early working against Michael.
Cartwright just picked up his 3rd foul. A very quick whistle on Bill Cartwright. He has 3.
Let's see if Detroit now goes into Edwards. Maybe try to get Cartwright to pick up his 4th.
Edwards isolated over on the left side. Isaiah pointing him in place right now to bang it down inside Edwards. Here he is, spinning in the lane. Pippen. Game 2 late. Cartwright backed off. Edwards scores.
James Edwards is a 7-footer that takes a 10-footer and makes it a 15-footer. He's got a fadeaway shot. You got to bother his shot from behind, not in front.
Now Pippen looking to do likewise to Bill Cartwright. Michael Jordan comes off the weak side out of nowhere, gets the pass for Pippen as everybody's looking for that post-entry pass, and Jordan hits the jumper. Jordan with 1 point in the 3rd quarter, already doubled that output here with only 45 seconds gone in the second half. Isaiah has it blocked by Pippen. Jordan on the left. Dennis Rodman throws Isaiah Thomas away from Pippen to say, I'll handle him. Down to Grant against Lambeer, who has 3 fouls. Lambeer gets the miss off the left hand. Here's Joe Dumars.
Well, Rodman wants the ball down against Paxson. He was covered back, but Joe Dumars couldn't see him. Let's see if they go inside to Edwards on screen roll, try to get into Cartwright.
There's the screen and the roll. Dumars now gets it to Edwards, who's way away from the hoop. To Lambeer with 5 on it. Lambeer, 7 out of 11 tonight after being 1 of 13 in the last 2 games.
Edwards usually not a real good passer. Nice pass that time, finding Lambeer spotting up.
Cartwright gets the ball down low for only about a 6-foot hook shot. Good position on the pass that time for Bill Cartwright.
Well, Bill Cartwright has come alive at the right time for Chicago. 11 points in game 4. He already has 9 tonight, and Chicago hanging tough with Michael Jordan only scoring 8 points.
Pistons by 5. 2 minutes gone, 3rd quarter. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you, along with Magic Johnson. Craig Sager's here, too. Dumars for 2. He stepped on the line. Joe Dumars now has 13 points.
Get the Bulls go back to Michael Jordan. Get him in a little bit of a rhythm. He took the first shot of the quarter. I'd go right back to him right now and get him lathered up in a hurry.
Trying to rub Dumars off of Cartwright. Let's see if Michael gets lathered up, as you like to say.
Well, that's like a racehorse, a thoroughbred. He gets lathered up. When he gets like that, you just hold your breath.
Isaiah Thomas, Paxson held him, no call. Isaiah Thomas, Dumars with 15, and the Pistons have suddenly built a 9-point lead. Phil Jackson wants and gets a timeout as Detroit has tied their biggest lead of this game.
The 1990 NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, the official vehicles of the NBA, and by Royal Caribbean. A Royal Caribbean cruise is lots of different vacations in one. Royal Caribbean, it's all here.
From
the Palace in Auburn Hills, Michigan. The Pistons have built a 9-point lead. Bob Neal and Doug Collins with you as we look at the Bulls timeout Bill Jackson called. And we'll be joined courtside here in the third quarter with Irvin Magic Johnson to offer a few comments with us as we go through the third period.
Well, Detroit has come out well here in the third quarter. Isaiah in the middle on the fast break. Gets the penetration, finds Joe Dumars, baseline jump shot. Dumars, 2 quick jump shots here in this period. 17 assists now for the Pistons. That's 9 for Isaiah Thomas.
Now the Pistons offering a little bit of full court pressure, but they only suggested and pull off of it quickly as Pippen is running the show.
Got to go to Michael Jordan.
Dumars right in his jersey.
He gets a shot for Paxson on the double team.
And the push, and that'll be a 2-shot foul as Michael goes up for the jump shot. And as I said, Magic Johnson has joined us courtside. Magic, how about your vantage point over across the floor from us there?
Well, I think that Michael now has to stop looking to pass and start getting himself involved offensively. Also, they're not getting inside points. And the difference of the game has been that Detroit are getting a lot of inside points, layups or short jumpers, and Chicago's just taking jump shots from long range. So that means Michael has to get himself, because he's really the main focus, how they get layups. And with him penetrating, dishing off, and doing that kind of thing offensively for the Bulls.
Okay, Magic, we'll be asking you for your comments here as we go throughout the third quarter from
I don't like that. He sounded too good. I don't like it, Magic. Get back in basketball playing.
Magic offered you, I think, kind of made a little suggestion maybe you get back to coaching yourself earlier. We'll talk about that further. Dumars on the drive, kicks to Thomas, who gave up the three-pointer, then went to Dumars, who missed it.
And Scottie Pippen caused him to miss that one because he went flying at him. Isaiah had a wide-open shot and decided to pass at the last minute. Or second, I should say.
54-47 Detroit, 8:34 to go, third quarter. Anita Cartwright against Edwards. He was a little too far from the basket. The handoff to Grant. He's fouled on the drive.
What you're seeing here a little bit right now is the quickness of Chicago starting to bother Detroit. They're slashing. Michael the last time gets fouled. This time Horace Grant goes to the basket and gets fouled.
And Lambeer has 4 personals now.
Well, that's a very big foul because Lambeer has been hitting the outside jump shot when they run that little pick and roll situation. Now Detroit has got problems. John Sally, not a good shooter. He's a big offensive rebounder. He got none in the first half and scored no points after really playing well in the first 2 playoff series.
Sally had 4 rebounds to show for his effort in the second quarter.
I tell you, I can't tell you enough how Chicago is in very, very good position right now. They're in a position where if the game is close, Michael Jordan can steal one for you on the road. Another factor you have is when fouls get in the fourth period and Michael starts going to the basket, if he starts shooting a lot of free throws, it will change the whole complexion of this game.
Jordan now defensing Isaiah Thomas.
Going to go to Dumars against
Pippen. Got Paxson down low against Broadman. Saved beautifully by Dumars to set. Thomas goes for the 3 this time. In and out of there. Rebound, Scottie Pippen. Pippen all the way. Misses the lay-in. Grant battling ferociously for the offensive board. Now Pippen keeping it alive. Out of bounds. Detroit ball despite tremendous effort by the Bulls.
Well, right there, Grant and Pippen just wanted it more. Sally's got to get on the board. Edwards, you can tell Rodman is affected right now. He's getting no rebounds.
Now they're looking for Edwards down there against Cartwright. He's got 3 personals.
Here's one thing you have to be very careful about. When they look to go to Edwards, they start standing around.
Isaiah doesn't miss this triple. Isaiah Thomas hits for 3, and the Pistons back up by 8, 7:27 to go in the third quarter. Cartwright with a bounce pass to Jordan, who got back to Dumars. Went to the left hand, drew the foul from Sally. The 3-point opportunity, and Magic Johnson, you're with us across the floor. There's the Jordan penetration and the foul. Magic, tell us a little bit as we look at this replay about repeating. You know about that with the Lakers. Can Detroit keep the fire alive?
Well, they have the fire, but the Bulls have more incentive because, first of all, Detroit beat them last year. and they never tasted it also. So that's two things working against Detroit. But right here is the key for the Bulls. They're picking them up full court, putting the pressure on like they did in game 3 and 4. And they didn't do this early in the first half. See, turnover. The game is changing. The momentum is changing toward the Bulls side.
11 Detroit turnovers in this ballgame. They had 22 in game 4.
I don't understand with the experience of Detroit why they're throwing the ball around like they are. They get someone to throw up the side to and throw it ahead. They're just not attacking this at all.
Inside to Grant. Down low, the left-handed hook over Sally. Sally bothered that shot. Rodman got the defensive rebound. Detroit led by 5 at the half. That's the differential now. Isaiah Thomas pulling up, shooting the air bomb. Out ball, and Pippen stole that rebound from Dennis Rodman.
Right now, the Bulls are more aggressive. Bob, you can see it on the boards. They're running out. They're having that look in their eyes they can win this basketball game. Detroit right now is out of sync, and Chicago has done that with their defense.
Chicago wasting a couple of opportunities. Scottie Pippen only 3 of 12 from the floor tonight. 10 on the shot clock now for Detroit.
They want to isolate now, let Dumars take Paxson.
Dumars is fouled by John Paxson, and that will be foul number 3 on Paxson.
See, the Bulls would like to prevent Michael Jordan and Paxson from switching out. John has done a pretty good job against Isaiah Thomas. Dumars is taking him off the dribble. They want to keep Michael on Dumars as much as possible.
Here's Dumars off an Edwards screen, penetrating the jump hook. Dumars, he has 17 points. Pistons by 7. Pick from Cartwright for Jordan. Now with 9 on the shot clock.
Another offensive rebound.
Misses the putback, gets another offensive rebound.
Detroit just not clearing the boards right now, and they're allowing Chicago to stay around. Got a rebound.
Who's on the bench with his 4 fouls. The turnaround jumper from Cartwright out of his range. The loose ball foul is going to be called against Detroit's Joe Dumars.
I want to tell you what right now, guys. Chicago's doing a number on the boards. Pippen, Grant are all over the backboard. That's where they're missing Lambeer. Now, Sally's got to get on the boards. You see John Sally? He's got to get on the boards. He's not gotten any rebounds in this quarter after 4 defensive rebounds. Bill Lambeer, excellent defensive rebound. Remember, out of the game with 4 fouls.
59-52 Pistons. Pistons, by the way, with 14 fouls now. Good. Dumars turned around from 15 feet.
Another offensive
board saved by Thomas. Spectacular play by Isaiah. Dumars in the open court. Right down the middle, throws up the prayer. It doesn't fall, but Dumars will go to the line.
Chicago all over the backboard. Watch Pippen again. No one checking him out. Scottie Pippen is 6'8". He's got long arms. And Detroit dodges another bullet. That's about 5 offensive rebounds they gave up after doing a good job in the second quarter on the defensive backboard. Detroit must get some rebounds out of Edwards and Sally and Rodman. You know that Rodman is hurting right now when you don't see him getting any of those defensive rebounds.
Rodman with the sprained ankle. Looking at the picture, James Edwards, little cut down his left thigh. Looks like about the 7th round of a heavy bout here in Auburn Hills. Dumars gets 1, and now the Pistons are out in front by 8. We're talking about the Pistons struggling, but they've led by 9 twice and now by 8.
Again, see if Michael Jordan can bust free for a shot, getting him going.
Jordan battling against Dumars down to the paint right now. Paxson finds Jordan. Dumars got out of the picture there. Kicks it back to Pippen. This is a 3-pointer for Scottie Pippen.
You got to give Pippen credit because you know what? He's not shooting the ball well, but he's not running away from his shot. He nails a big 3 there. A lot of times young players shooting 4 for 14 are going to run away from that shot. Pippen stepped up and made it.
Pistons by 5. Thomas with
charge.
It's a charge. He was cooking in on Paxson, knowing that Paxson playing with 3 fouls, but Isaiah Thomas picks up the personal. That'll be his 3rd. Chicago hanging around here, trailing by 5. Benny Johnson about to get into the ball game for Detroit.
And you know what? You can feel, oh, there's a foul on Isaiah Thomas just throwing down Scottie Pippen on that screen. He just took both arms and threw him down. Now that's 5 team fouls, which is going to put him in the penalty. Watch this right here. Watch Isaiah. He takes and just throws him down.
And it's 4 personals on Isaiah, who goes to the bench.
Benny is in the ball game. He was quiet in the first half. 1 for 3. No offensive rebounds, only 2 points. And when you look at bench scoring in the first half, 8 for Detroit, only 7 for Chicago, so only a 1-point differential.
Magic Johnson with us, a friend of Isaiah Thomas. Irvin, do you have any feeling about Isaiah in this ball game, what he may be feeling right now?
Well, I think that he's feeling a little frustration. That was a frustration foul more than anything else. Now, things are not going well for them, and I think from that, he just threw him down out of frustration. But look at the Bulls. They're right there. Now, this is the key because Isaiah is their best ball handler. If they can continue to pressure them like this, they're going to get some turnovers and some easy hoops going the other way.
Detroit breaking the pressure nicely with ball movement that time with Isaiah on the bench. Detroit goes to the passing, which worked very effectively for the hoop. The pass from Jordan to Paxson to Grant to Cartwright to Pippen. Player on the offense touch, but here comes Sally and Rodman's out in front.
Oh, almost over and back. Whoa, that was close.
Pistons by 5, 3:48 to go third quarter.
Dumars against Paxson. They like this matchup. Detroit should clear it out and let him take him.
They did, and he did. And the foul, it'll be a 2-shot foul for Joe Dumars.
It's the best job Detroit's done against breaking the press right here. They do not try to dribble it. They pass it. There's a pass, Vinny. There's a pass back. One dribble, pass ahead, and there's the easy layup. That's the way you break the dribble. Get the ball in the middle of the floor and don't try to split traps.
And Doug, as you pointed out, Dumars against Paxson took it down for the penetration. Paxson now has 4 personal fouls.
Well, now what's going to happen is Ed Neely's coming in for Paxson, which means Scottie Pippen's going to go to the guard position. They do not like the matchup with Hodges on Vinnie Johnson, so they're going to come in now with Pippen against Vinnie Johnson, Dumars against Michael Jordan, size and strength.
Dumars with the free throw, and Joe has 20 points in this ball game, 64-57 Detroit.
Remember now, in the penalty, so anytime Michael Jordan makes his penetration and is fouled, he'll go to the free throw line. This is when he is extremely dangerous.
This is what they call the 1-4 for Chicago. Jordan out high so he can make the pass, which he does to Grant, the basket, and the foul. He's so dangerous. I'm talking about Michael Jordan with his passing game when they get in that 1-4 set.
You know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing doubt on the face of this Detroit team right now. Horace Grant very active, and you feel the Detroit crowd feeling Chicago is right where they want it. You don't feel any excitement in here. It's almost like, well, we hope we can get out of here tonight.
Horace Grant with 15 points, 9 rebounds, 7 of them offensive boards tonight.
Chicago within 4. Got to get somebody in the middle of the floor where they can throw ahead.
There's that pressure. There's the turnover. And only
get ahead. They never got it.
And steal it.
Should have been a violation.
Sally with a nice pass to Vinnie Johnson. Oh, that was a big break for the Detroit Pistons. They're up by 6 now.
They must have reset the shot clock. I didn't think there was a change of possession on that play.
The officials apparently did, because they certainly didn't blow the whistle. Sally with 3 good assists here in this quarter.
Vinnie Johnson should come help and leave Neely. Make Neely make the shot.
He did, and Neely didn't. Good call, Coach Collins. Here it is. Here's the almost or the phantom over and back as we go to a timeout.
Well, we can't really see the clock right here, but let's see if there's a change of possession here. I guess they ruled that Pippen had the ball. I don't think he ever had it.
Never had control of it.
I think this should have been a shot clock or a backcourt violation, 10 seconds.
You could call it a 4-point turnaround. Detroit by 6, 2:48 to go in the third quarter.
Come into the Palace after Michael Jordan leaves. Phil Collins, August 16th and 17th. the great Janice Jackson on August 7th and 8th. And for 3 great shows, June 22nd, 24th, and 25th, David Bowie. Tickets on sale at the Palace box office at all Ticketmaster and Great Stuff locations. Dennis Rodman inbounds to Sally. Now Warren catches, driving down the lane, scoops lefty, it rolls off. Who's got it? Eddie Neely. 2.5 now. Left in the third. Pistons by 6, but the Bulls have the ball. Guess who? Michael Jordan outside. Dumars fights a Cartwright screen. Cartwright gets it baseline. He's doubled. Clock at 5. He's in the corner. Clock at 4, and we get a whistle. And a timeout called by the Bulls. It'll be a 20-second timeout.
George, that came about because the Pistons are doing such a great job of double teaming Jordan. They are not going to let him shoot the ball.
It has been wild in here tonight. Dennis Rodman on a break a moment ago got it to Sally, and then VJ inside, who had to hang glide before he hit it, but he did.
Well, you know, George, when you're being pressured, if you can have your big people, Dennis Rodman, who has size, and John Sally, who has size, to be able to handle the ball, it really helps your zone attack.
Bulls ball. They called the timeout with Cartwright trapped in the corner, and the shot clock ready to go inside 5. Neely looks. Outside Cartwright. Back to Neely from the corner. He guns. No. Rebound Cartwright. What a foul. And he will be called for it. His 4th. The loose ball foul on Cartwright. The Bulls are in the penalty. 2 and 14 left in the third. Jimmy Edwards was shoved. He'll shoot a pair. Pistons have only had 10 tries at the line. They've made 7. The Bulls are 17 for 21. Jimmy Edwards missed the first. His free throw woes continue. Meantime, foul trouble. Paxson and Cartwright with 4 for the Bulls. Isaiah and Bill Lambier with 4. Sally and Aguirre with 3 for the Pistons. Points, 6 boards on Monday for James Edwards. He missed 2 free throws there. Will Perdue on for Cartwright. Rebound. Hodges on the floor with Jordan, Neely, Perdue, and Pippen. Jordan in the corner. Dumars with a reach-in steal, but a foul, says Eddie Rush. That's just 2 on Joe. That means a pair, though, for Michael.
That's right, George. You know, Jordan wants the basketball. He wants control of the ball because he didn't do very much offensively in his mind in the first half. But the way the Pistons are playing defense, I think he's going to get very few open shot opportunities, and now it's up to the rest of the Bulls to be able to take advantage of his passing. But I like what the Pistons are doing here, George, from a defensive standpoint.
Michael Jordan makes and has just 14. Now it's 15. But the Bulls are very much in it, 66-62. Way too close for comfort. Less than 2 now left in the third. Denny Johnson against the trap, bounces to Sally. John dribbles out of the trap, finds Rodman baseline. Sally gets it back high post. Pippen tried to surprise steal on the deck to Dumars. Baseline to VJ, lets the gun go, and it goes! Denny Johnson with a big-time basket there at 68-62. Michael Jordan elevating for the Bulls and getting it down behind the foul line. Boy, he answered in a hurry. The Pistons worked like the devil for their shot.
Well, they did, George. Benny Johnson came up with a great play. We were questioning whether Chicago would continue to trap. They have.
Pistons against the trap, get it to Rodman baseline. He elevates in a crowd, bad ankle or not, and draws the foul.
But somewhere along the line, George, if the Pistons continue to attack like they did that time and get open shot opportunities, Chicago will have to pull this trap off.
Neely committed his second foul on Dennis Rodman.
Well, you like the fact that they are an attack frame of mind against the defense instead of being tentative.
Very courageous Dennis Rodman playing tonight. That's a bad ankle. He makes and has 5 to go with 5 boards. He had 20 points and 20 rebounds Memorial Day afternoon.
George, he had a great day Monday, I'll tell you. Boy, that's a tremendous afternoon.
He made them both there. 70-64. A minute now and 10 left in the third. The Pistons lead the Bulls by 6. The Eastern Finals are tied 2-2. Jordan outside against the trap. Gives to Purdue. Airballs it to Rodman. He didn't expect the pass and was more than tentative on the shot. Benny Johnson against Hodges, brushing off hand checks. Takes it wide of the lane, jumps it up, short. Got his own rebound, though. Tapped away. Jordan has it. Off to Hodges, 3 on the way. In and out, Sally taps. Dumars brings it down. Chuck Daly up to call the play with 30 seconds left in the third. Pistons by 6. A basket here would be very big. Benny Johnson way outside. Chased by Neely and Hodges. The shot clock's at 5. He'll shovel baseline to Rodman. It's a 3. Outside Dumars. It's a 2. Let's a triple try go. Off the iron. Sally pulls it off. He'll try to power it up. He drew the foul. Will Purdue fouled him, and Purdue's trying to go after him. A near fight. That'd be a poor exchange if the Pistons lost John Sally and the Bulls only lost Will Purdue.
Well, George, I like the fact that John Sally did not want to get in there and start fighting. He's a veteran. He realizes the importance of being on the floor. Will Purdue is overreacting here. There was a little contact, but there's been contact in every game, on every play, on every drive to the basket.
John Sally pulled it off. Took it back up.
Well, I think perhaps the action here would be the fact that John Sally may have kicked his right leg and hit Purdue. I didn't see any contact here. Well, there's a
Purdue turned and saw John starting to argue with Pippen, and he came after him from behind.
We have a personal foul on Will Purdue. We have a double technical on Will Purdue. Spider Sally.
I don't know where John Sally gets a technical foul out of that. That's the announcement. You may have heard it. Personal on Purdue and double technicals on Purdue and Sally. There is one problem with the way they sort things out in the NBA. It's like, let's make this no-brainer double technical decision.
Well, George, you see the reaction, or you hear the reaction of the crowd here, but I don't see what John Sally did unless we could go back and look at that film a little bit closer and see that perhaps he either did kick Pippen or he kicked Will Purdue. That's the only thing I can see from a physical standpoint. Yet he may have said something.
He's at the line, kept his cool, got the free throw down.
But you sure have to like the way he goes to the offensive board. He's on the line because of that.
Spider pulled off that rebound, his 5th. Here is the second. You can score it. 72-64. Pistons need 10 seconds of defense here to finish out the third with an 8-point lead. Hodges dumps it deep inside, and Neely goes up for the shot. He was fouled after the horn. No foul. After 3, it's the Pistons by 8, 72-64. They're rocking at the Palace in Game 5 of the tied-up Eastern Conference Finals on the world champion Pistons Playoff Basketball Network. WKBD TV 50, your place for sports. Houston, Buffalo, Kansas City, and the Cincinnati Bengals on that schedule in August. Right here on TV 50, and for season tickets, call 335-4151. Barry Sanders and Wayne Fonts and the Lions restoring the roar. You can also, of course, catch the Lions on News Radio 95 WWJ. The buzzer beat the foul on Neely to finish off the third. You think James Edwards knew that?
Well, his timing was right. There was no doubt about George had there been time on the clock that certainly would have been a foul. He really pulled Ed Neely down.
Bulls ball to start the fourth. The Pistons outscored them 26-23 in the third. They lead by 8. It's 72-64. Michael Jordan had 11 in the third. Joe Dumars checking him topside. Had 9. Michael misses. And here come the Pistons. Vinnie Johnson and Joe D. and Sally and Aguirre and Edwards. Dumars from the wing. Guns over Jordan. No. Rebound tap controlled by Horace Grant. He and Pippen and Perdue. And Jordan and Hodges on the floor. Michael coast to coast and scoops and scores.
Great balance and a great drive. The defense opened up. He took it right through the hole.
Michael Jordan now with 19. It's a 6-point game, even though Michael's only 6 for 15. Pistons with it, up a half a dozen. Shot clock now at 10. Vinny on the way. Wants to go inside to Edwards against Perdue. Michael doubles down, back out to VJ on the wing to Aguirre. Clock at 2, now 1. Shot clock's going to run out on him.
Chuck Daly is really upset. The Pistons did not realize that the clock was going down, and they get caught with a 24-second possession. Chicago has it, and now they're attacking.
That's 15 turnovers. Chicago has just 6. That's why they're so close. Michael Jordan can't get it down inside. Off in the corner to Perdue, way outside Hodges. Great range, as you know. Grant had it stripped. Sally to Aguirre. Vinny in a crowd gives to Aguirre. Back topside, Joe D. 72-26, 10 and 20 left. Game 5, Eastern Finals. We're tied 2-2. Dumars trapped in the corner, outside to Vinny. Deep on the wing to Aguirre. 3-point try. It's through! A triple for Mark! It's 75-66. Chicago wants timeout with 10:06 to play. This is the World Champion Pistons Playoff Basketball Network. Pistons Insider. Order and save 47% of the newsstand price if you call 377-0100 during business hours. Mark Aguirre has given the Pistons their biggest lead since the first quarter with a deep triple, and now they lead by 9. Bulls with it. Grant, Hodges, Pippen, Perdue, and B.J. Armstrong on the floor. Perdue, low post, turn and gun, got it. Perdue against Aguirre. 75-68.
Well, they had to switch inside, George, and Aguirre wound up on Perdue. Perdue had the size on it.
B.J. Armstrong bumping Dumars on the sideline. That's 3 bumps. Now Joe will take it baseline. He's bumped again. This time it's called. B.J. Armstrong with the foul. 9.5 left. It's 75-68. Aguirre, Sally, Edwards, Joe D. and Vinny for the Pistons. Spider Sally triggers to Dumars. Off to VJ on the wing against Hodges. Clock at 16. He'll feed Aguirre. Spin move. Inside. On Pippen. Scooping and scoring is Mark Aguirre. He has 11. Pistons by 9 again. Mark Aguirre 5 out of 6. 1 of the 5 a triple. Perdue dishes inside to Pippen. He'll gun off the high glass. No. Rebound comes long to Vinny. VJ still with that dribble. Wants Edwards inside against Hodges. Gives it to him. Gets it back. Feeds Aguirre, who lays it up and in. And he is fouled. The Pistons are smoking now. Vinnie Johnson made that thing happen. Grant with the foul. Man. Vinnie wanted to get it to somebody inside. He did, and the Pistons have their biggest lead. 79-68. Mark Aguirre hits from the stripe. It's 80-68. A lot of time left, though. 8:45 as Pippen works against Aguirre. Paxson back on the floor for the Bulls. No Michael Jordan. Pippen at the foul line extension. Working against Edwards. That clock is at 5. Now 4 on the baseline. Leaning. Dumping to Purdue. Clock running out. He missed it. Off the iron to Sally. Now Dumars. Well, you talk about noise. They're making some in here right now.
This is a home court advantage.
Vinny gets it off the screen. Dumps it deep to Edwards. He'll lay it up and in. And he's fouled. Another Vinny Johnson assist. And a chance for another three-point Piston trip. The Bulls take timeout after Grant's third foul. 8:06 left. The Pistons 82, Chicago 68 on the World Champion Pistons Playoff Basketball Network.
What was the barometer that we talked about? Unselfish play for the Pistons. Game to open the game, Bob. Remember what our barometer was?
26 assists.
They have 26 assists on 34 field goals right now.
They're getting passes from players like John Sally, who's an offensive rebounder.
Michael was out basically 2 minutes, and the Bulls lost 6 points. That's twice he set down. The first half they lost 6. This time 6 minus 12 when Michael is set down. It's a 15-point game right now.
First one, 8-0 run. Punched away by Aguirre. Shot clock to 8 seconds. Jordan out high. Here's Dumars. Slaps him away. The drive. The dish. Paxson. The ball is out of bounds. Chuck Daly wanted a loose ball foul on Pippen against Aguirre. Nothing was coming.
John Paxson's going to have to stick that jump shot. They're leaving Michael. He's going to have some opportunities to shoot some open shots. He's going to have to step up and make them right there.
Paxson only 1 of 5. Looked like he walked. He missed again. He's 1 of 6. Offensive boards. Pippen from 5 feet. Blocked by Sally. Grant with the offensive board.
Boy, Chicago's scrapping on the boards, though.
Jordan against Dumars. He has to dish it to Pippen for 3. Nowhere near, just barely through iron. Jordan got the offensive board, puts it back, will go to the free throw line.
The question is, who didn't block out Michael Jordan? Now, here's the most devastating player in basketball, unattended on the offensive boards. Somebody left him wide open. All right, here's the pass off on the block by Sally. And here's the pass off by Michael Jordan. Now let's see how he gets so open. He goes in, and nobody blocks him out.
Missing the free throw, Michael Jordan. 19 points, only 3 rebounds. Does have 7 assists. Jordan has scored only 2 points in this fourth quarter.
Now, if Michael makes this free throw, will Detroit be able to handle their pressure? They've been awfully shaky against the pressure defense. They do not want to put it on the floor and dribble between tracks. Dumars did the smart thing that time. He read it, made sure the double team wasn't there, then brought it up.
83-69 Pistons. 9 on the shot clock. The pass to Aguirre. Aguirre is feeling it. He has 16 points. 10 in the fourth quarter. The Bulls turn it over.
No,
they was tipped by Detroit.
Yeah, it was tipped. It was Aguirre started to make the play. Pippen started to make the pass, and Aguirre got a piece of it. Michael had a backdoor slam dunk. They could have got it to him.
Now, I'm not going to put you in the position to second-guess the guy who replaced you at Chicago, but Jordan has spent a lot of bench time, and the Bulls have given up 12 points total while Michael's been on the bench in this ball game, and it's 85-69 score.
Well, you know, I always tried to rest Michael if I could right at the end of the third quarter and give him maybe a minute and a half there, give him the timeout, and then try to bring him right back. Phil has used him a little differently. He's been very successful with it, but tonight as Michael has stepped down, it's really hurt them. That's because no one has stepped up and done the job.
You see the delay. That's because the clock at the Chicago end of the stadium, this is not the primary scoreboard, is out. The time remaining is 6:43 in the ball game. It's 85-69. Pistons by 16. This happened the last game. Not that significant if they can't get it repaired.
Well, they're making Michael work now. They're showing up big. Cartwright's going to have to take an outside shot.
Out of his range. Rebound, Pippen, another offensive board. He's fouled hard. Open Aguirre and Edwards grabbed a hold of it. Magic Johnson, your feeling on the flow of this ball game right now with 6:31 to go.
Well, Detroit is showing why they are the world champions. First of all, Chuck Daly put in his best offensive team. He put in Aguirre, Vinnie Johnson, and he had James Edwards go back down low. And that means if you double team whoever, that man open is a great scorer. And Mark has capitalized off of them double teaming Vinnie and Joe Dumars. And also they're getting layups. Chicago is struggling just to get jump shots. And they have to go inside. In the first quarter, they went into Grant a lot. And he delivered. Now, I don't even see Grant anywhere. He's not even on the floor, and they haven't went any into him inside like they did in the first quarter.
Excellent point. Grant with a total of 15 points in the game, 0 donut in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's been an adventure with their press.
And the foul, Pippen fouling Aguirre.
You know, the important thing when a team traps you, Bob, is to get your big people out of the backcourt, freeze one at the basket, spread the floor, so if you throw long, you can find the guy underneath the basket on penetration for an easy layup. It's been an adventure for Detroit.
85-71 Pistons.
Now the shot clock becomes, or excuse me, the game clock becomes very, very important.
6:10 remaining in this game. Aguirre losing it. Corralling it again. Inside to Sally. The turnaround jumper. Big play by John Sally.
Now, Lambier and Isaiah Thomas in foul trouble have both been sitting while this whole thing is going on. Sally contributing. Edwards, Aguirre, big off the bench. They've been the difference.
And Edwards knocked it away from Cartwright. The Bulls are starting to reel from the body blows delivered by the Pistons.
High screen roll. Vinnie Johnson.
There's the roll. Edwards had the opening. Now he gets the ball, but no behind the back pass to Dumars, who misses the tip in by Aguirre. They'll give the basket to Aguirre. He has 18. Detroit blowing it open now, holding Chicago. Look at this, to only 71 points in this ballgame. Chicago is definitely not going to crack that 100-point mark. Michael Jordan missing again. Jordan has only 3 points in the fourth period, and Chicago is 2 of 11. Detroit feeling it now.
Yeah, but they don't want to get cocky. They've got another game they got to win in this series yet, and I know Magic knows this. The last one was the toughest one to get.
And Paxson gets the triple.
And there's still 5 minutes almost to go in this basketball game, and if it's within 10 in the last 3 minutes or so, you got to worry that Michael Jordan can score that many himself.
89-74 Pistons, 4:42 remaining. Dumars waiting for the double team, kicking it out to Johnson. 4 on the shot clock. Vinnie Johnson hitting the big jumper with 17. From 17 feet. And Phil Jackson's going to get a timeout. He sees it slipping away at 91-74. With Michael Jordan on the bench, Detroit started building a lead in the fourth quarter, and now has built this lead that's, you'd have to say, is commanding. And Mark Aguirre in this period is 5 out of 5, has 12 points, and this Detroit team starting to look as though they're in charge.
Well, I think that the real key thing is Lambier and Isaiah went out with foul trouble. Magic made a great point. Detroit came in with their offensive players, and they performed. But at the same time, they played good defense. Now, what has happened is you've given yourself a cushion against a big fourth quarter from Michael Jordan. Here's the unselfish play of the Pistons. And a big offensive rebound. Since Sally was involved in that little scuffle, he's become aggressive and gotten on the backboard. It's really helped. Keys to winning for Chicago. Start quickly, perimeter shooting. They're shooting 30-something%. Defensive rebounding, and believe they can win. They got to a point, and Detroit imposed their will, and defense took over the ball game. 32% for the game, Chicago shooting.
10 seconds on the clock. Michael Jordan against Dumars. Dumars has done a whale of a job on Michael tonight. He earned that one, and Michael Jordan now 7 of 17 from the floor. He does have 22 points.
Vinny's got to watch if he turns. Here comes Michael Jordan. Stay away from the double team.
splits it to Aguirre down to Sally. Sally fouled very hard by Stacey King. But John Sally will go to the free throw line. Sally has only 4 points, but he has proven to be a significant factor in this game with Lambier out with 4 fouls.
You're going to see this, Bob, and you're oh so right, with Sally going strong to the basket. John Sally is an entertainer, all right? He loves the playoffs because when he knows well, when he knows he plays well, he's got an audience. And tonight he got off to a slow start, and he's come alive in the second half.
He told me before the game he knew Magic Johnson would be here and hoped that Magic would, as he put it, hook him up right in the game. Irvin, if you heard that, I'll pass it to you. John Sally, 8 rebounds and 4 assists. I heard, but I don't hear anything.
Well, you know, he's been a key to their surge here. Him, Mark Aguirre, has been the key because both of them have been attacking the basket as well as Mark has been shooting well from the outside. When they made this move, the Bulls had their worst defensive team on the court.
Dumar's call for the foul, trying to defense Michael Jordan.
Not only did they have their worst defensive team, but they had their worst offensive team. Will Perdue, Neely, those guys cannot score. And that, in essence, Detroit took advantage of that.
You know, Matt, I think another thing also, too, is in the first half, 8-7 bench scoring for Detroit. It's now 32-9, so they've really taken over this game.
Yes, definitely, especially with the poor outside shooting.
Armstrong inside the paint from 12 feet. Big bucket by B.J. Armstrong. By the way, the gentleman you were watching while Magic was talking and Doug Collins was the commissioner of the NBA, who does not have as good a seat as Magic Johnson here tonight. But he's not working either.
Michael will shoot a 3. You better cover him.
Michael did. Over the top. It's been that kind of night. A 15-point Pistons lead with 3:12 remaining in this ball game. And the Pistons showing signs of feeling they have this ball game in their pocket.
Well, again, the 100-point barometer is so big for Detroit. When teams don't score 100, they win. When they give up 100, they lose. Pretty simple.
And Detroit has done most of this, by the way, with Isaiah Thomas and Lambier on the bench with foul trouble. Lambier just returned moments ago. There's a turnover. Chicago coming back now with the ball, but only 3 minutes remaining in this ball game. Jordan has to drive into 4 players before he dishes off the team.
See, Michael, just, you know, I mean, he just gave Stacey King 2 points. He drew the defense and handed it off to him. Magic Johnson knows so well how to do that.
The long arms of Sally.
Oh,
man. Foul by Pippen. Taking Lambier down as hard as you'll see.
I tell you, I thought Bill Lambier hurt his back there. He came down in a very, very awkward position.
John Sally standing in there to have something to say to Scottie Pippen.
You know, there was an article in the Chicago Tribune after 2 games about Scottie Pippen not wanting to go in the paint. And man, oh man, look at this. I thought he hurt his back. Take a look at this right here.
I'd say there was some contact there. Technical foul on Pippen along with a personal foul. Hugh Evans talking to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen right now. And now Ed Rush going over to talk to Phil Jackson, flirting with another technical.
Phil Jackson wants to know what the call is. I guess they've called an unsportsmanlike technical foul on Scottie Pippen. You know, Bob, something happened in here the other night I'd like to explain. I really didn't know what the ruling was, all right? There was the punching foul on Edwards, and he was ejected against Neely. And Sally shot the 2 free throws, all right? The rule on that is if a guy is ejected, the opposing coach picks one of the other 4 players on the floor to shoot the foul shot. So for the people who didn't get the explanation from me last time, that's what happened. I'm only a day late and a week short or whatever.
Leaving no stone unturned. So Lambier, who went down very hard, seems to be all right. I agree with you that it looked as though he had hurt his back, but better late than never.
That's right. We know all those people were watching our game the other night, so we can just rehash the whole game.
And Dumars misses, but this ball game is, for all practical purposes, in the bank. I mean, we're talking a serious miracle here. Pistons up by 13 with 2:38 remaining. Bill Laimbeer has 15 points in this game. We talked about one of the centers having to come up very big. Now, Cartwright has only 9, has not scored any points in the entire second half. Laimbeer, 15 points, 13 of them in the first half to help get the Pistons off to a good start. But he did come up big in the ballgame.
Well, you know, Pippen came out of the gate with 9 in the first half. He now has 7 in the second. Grant had a big first half with 10 points. He has 15.
And none in the fourth quarter, we might add.
So they got off quickly, and then the Piston defense really stifled them.
Magic Johnson put you on a little bit of a spot here. What do you think about Detroit's chances of repeating?
They have a great chance of winning because they know how to win. They've been there. They're the champs already. They know what it's all about. And that's the difference between them and Chicago right here today. Chicago has not taken the ball to the basket like they did in game 3 and 4. And that's been the difference today. That's why they were so aggressive, because they were getting so many easy layups in game 3 and 4. Where today, Detroit reversed that. They're the one who were getting the easy layups. They're the one who were aggressive tonight, and that's why they end up winning this game. Now, I'm going to go on the line and say this is going to be a 7-game series, because Chicago's going to come back and play the way they did in game 3 and 4 and win that game 6. I really feel that. And it's going to be a whale of a game 7. I hope I'll be here to watch it.
Well, Magic, maybe we can work on helping you get a ticket. I think maybe we can get you in.
Thanks a lot. And another point. Because Isaiah and Laimbeer were on the bench with foul trouble, that enabled them, in terms of Detroit, to put in their best offensive team, and they took advantage of that.
So sometimes the great coaching moves come accidentally, in a sense. You obviously have to take advantage of it.
And that's what happened tonight.
Jordan, 4-3. It's not going to happen for Michael Jordan tonight or the Chicago Bulls.
Well, that's the way.
2:09 remaining.
That's the way Chicago was playing the other night in Chicago Stadium. Loose balls were theirs. Their defense created their offense. They got easy scores. Vinnie Johnson just gives himself up here, tries to get the loose ball, and although he does not come up with it, this is the kind of aggressiveness that Vinnie Johnson gives to this ball club. BJ tried to pick it up. Vinnie went down after it and tried to scoop it up.
Vinnie Johnson, you talk about unselfish, also 8 assists tonight for the man they call the microwave.
Well, in Chicago, he did not play well. It's very important for him to do the job.
Jordan draws the double team. It was Sally who got his hand on that one.